Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy BlockchainCrusader here. We're back at Crypto Wars once again on the altcoin battlefield. Everybody smash those likes. We're gonna have a special episode today of TA Monday. That's right, guys. We're bringing the TA Mondays back for December. It is going to be an exciting month here with what's happening with Bitcoin right now. I know a lot of people freaking out right now, right? Bitcoin's going down. Is the Santa rally canceled? Is it over? So I start selling. Is the bull market not going to happen now? Right? What do I do? Well, don't worry. We got a special guest here to tell us exactly where these prices are going, what is he seeing, and what to worry about, what not to worry about, right? Obviously, never financial advices offer entertainment value, but if you do find any value, smash those likes. And our guest is the one, the only, first time on the show, Alex O Crypto. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me here, man. I appreciate it, for the reach out, for the invite, man. It's great to be on the show. Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, absolutely no worries, man. We love having new people on the show all the time. Army Piper said, hey, Alex Crypto's the guy to have on this show. Bring him on Crypto Trading Wars. Bring him on the show. And I said, why not? We love talking to new people, learning something new, and bringing something new to our audience every single day. So, guys, if you've never seen Alex O Crypto, go to his link down in the description of this video right now and go follow him. Go follow this guy. Let's get him to 1,000 subs, guys. Let's get him to 1,000 subs, and let's keep blowing up his account as we grow in this bull market together. So,
Thank
Alex,
you so much, man.
dude, absolutely. No, people did it for us. We want to do it for other people. We, like I said before, right? We love working with new people and building collaborations and just growing together and just bringing value to everyone's audience as much as we can. How are you thinking? How are you feeling about the markets right now, man? You know, Monday.
I'm pretty happy.
Looking
This
good.
is like a great Monday, man. Like, I mean, how do we all feel when we were up at 44,000? We're like, man, we missed the boat, right? We all
Yes.
missed the boat. So like
Yes.
when this happens, now everybody's like, oh, we're going to 20K again. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is what we've been waiting for, right? This is
Yep.
these are the opportunities, right? The change of the mindset where we get to be better and grab those better DCA prices, right? In case we missed the lower prices, right? So we should be excited right now.
I'm excited. I've been wanting a pullback because I did miss out on some DCAing opportunities, right? There was AVAX has been exploding, right? Solana has exploded. I have zero AVAX at all, but I'm looking a lot into the AVAX ecosystem, and there's a lot of things happening there that are looking really, really nice. But I would love a pullback. I don't know how much further we're going to pull back, or is this just like a mini pullback? But we'll get into that here later. So, guys, everybody in the chat right now, let me just jump in here. Clay the Great, what's going on, man? Great having him. Clay the Great, it was great having you on the show on Friday for Flip or Hodl for $2,900. Man, the money will be coming in if you haven't gotten it already later today. Keeper is still traveling. But outside of that, Crypto Pollo, Green Day Profits, Jonathan Schaffer, Effing Mazda, Lunar Beaches Crypto, Darren Does Things, Supreme Dream. Love having all of you guys in here. Appreciate you guys. You could be anywhere, but you're here right now supporting the channel. So smash those likes. First article up, Bitcoin liquidity, right? Bitcoin liquidity. And this is going to segue into exactly what we're going to be talking about here shortly. Its illiquid supply has hit a 10-year high, signaling strong investor conviction. This was obviously a few days ago, and Bitcoin is now pulling back. From that being said, how far of a drop can you see Bitcoin happening here if we are having such illiquid supply, if MicroStrategy is buying up all this Bitcoin, if the Bitcoin ETFs might get approved in January? How much of a pullback are we expecting?
Well, hopefully we can get back down to this retracement down here that I've been looking at here on my chart. So this is kind of my big picture chart that I always pull up with my community every morning. And we're right beside that ETF, right? And then obviously rate cuts in Bitcoin halving coming down the line. However, we did put beautiful structure in here. Also, we know that we're up here and we're not up here the same with like Ethereum where we would be as we are with Bitcoin. So we would like to see a pullback into this area. And what I've been eyeing, Crusader, mostly is the CME gap. So
I have seen people talk about that. Where is that CME gap again?
So when we go over here, the CME gap's just below. So it does print different numbers here on the C gap, there is a difference between the actual price here. So you would have to transfer this box over to one of your charts over here. And it does lie just above where we are, or just below where we are right now. So it is literally right around here. So if we do see this continue to push, we could see this fill and then look for that firing off and a continuation of this.
So it's about the lowest, about 38,000, give or take, right?
Yeah.
And
So when I go in here, it's around, yeah, right around 40, starting at 40, and it gets all the way down into about 39.5, which is pretty interesting to see because we're just coming. It's almost like we're hunting it out right as we speak.
So a lot of people are very aware of these CME gaps, right? Do you have any levels below that to look at and say, hey, if we lose this CME gap, right, we fill it, but we keep dropping, this could be an entire structure change here, and we might be looking at a lot lower levels. What's that level in your eyes?
So when I go to my lower levels, our bear case, so we do have this beautiful CME gap. Yeah, that's cool and all, but what we want to see is this area hold. So we put in quite a good stick of volume here, and we were targeting actually 30. The lowest target we were actually targeting is 31.8, and that's when we were trading all the way over at 34,800 when we were within this range up here. So for us, we were looking for us to lose this level because, to be fair, there is another CME gap just below here that we didn't fill. You see right here. So we have one right here. If I switch over to this chart here, there's one down below here that we never came back. So when we were trading around this area and just constantly putting in these higher lows, we were looking for it to pull back and then continue upwards, and it didn't. So it just pushed way up here, and now we're coming back and retracing now. For me, right now, I want, if we do get acceptance back into this range below 38,000, let's say, we could be falling back down to this 34,700 area, which would be like a beautiful setup. And I know we would all love to see that and grab some more of our alts and all of our favorite coins where we can look to DCA. And I always stress to the guys, I mean, like with the allocation, like I've made a lot of retracement videos where you know, you're putting 10 here and maybe 30 here, and then the rest, you know, 60 down here, and just save it, or you can allocate that 60 on the way back up if you feel so. So it's like setting those limit orders and definitely trying to grab in at those lower DCA prices where you can look to, you know, make a little bit extra on our bags. Because right now, like if we're going to go up to, let's say 100K, you're only getting a 2x on your Bitcoin, right? So we want to maximize those profits in those bags for the community, right?
Yeah, so that's actually leads me to the next question here. Is we've talked about the bearish case here for Bitcoin. What is this Santa rally January deadline kind of looking like for you? Are you think we're gonna hit 50K or higher by that time, or you know?
So I believe like when everybody's looking at one level, it's like it can't be that level. You know, we've been pulling the fibs, and everybody's saying this 618, right? The golden pocket retracement like we had in the previous rally, right? And then we can pull that fib just the same here, and we can see it, the 50K lies at the 618, and that would be great. A nice blow off top, and then maybe a retrace from there. So if we work our way up here with the ETF, and then we get that retrace and then a continuation going into the halving, that would be awesome. However, I don't think they're going to give it to us. My level is that I'm currently watching right now for the community, and that's just above us here. It's around 48,000. So my main one, we have the 50 marked out, but our main one here is around 48,250, and that just coincides with a lot of price structure to the left. If we go to the left on the simple chart, that's where before we got that big Terra Luna collapse, right? That was the like, oh, we're going back up to 69,000. That was that moment. So I think if we can get to there and then have a nice retrace over here, that would work out perfectly, and then we can look to possibly grab the retrace here and then continue our way upwards there.
So yeah, how do you foresee, right? So you're saying 48, have a retracement, right? Leave everybody hanging with that 50K, however long that retracement is. Do you believe we're going to continue moving up past 50K as 2024 happens, or do you think 2024 is going to be more of a kind of a bearish year until the halving event? After the halving event, it's kind of a lagging effect for before it becomes bullish again. Do
Hmm.
you foresee that happening, kind of just having a sideways year, or do you see it as like just gradually, slowly making some higher movements for Bitcoin throughout 2024?
I like that. So I think we can only trade what's in front of us, and from what we know and from the history, correct? So when we work our way towards this halving, we know that we tend to have a 40% retracement within this market, even if we're supposed to go back in history and check that out. However, I do believe, and it's weird to say, but this time it's different, right? We have institutional adoption, we have ETF coming, we
Yep.
have FOMO, we have countries adopting this, we have presidential candidates speaking about Bitcoin. Like I just recently got an advertisement from Coinbase in Canada, right? And I've never seen an advertisement from Coinbase in Canada, right? So my uncle has asked me recently, so like it's coming, and people are becoming more aware, and they're realizing that their dollar's buying them less. And I believe this time is different. However, that doesn't mean that we aren't going to have a correction. That doesn't mean that there isn't going to be Bitcoin typical price action where we do see these wicks like today. And for me, that's a fire sale, right? That's when we have an opportunity. If you believe in this long term and you're looking to ride this into the halving, then any dip is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody in my Discord was telling me earlier today or yesterday that I believe Google AdSense is changing their policy to now for 2024 for them to start advertising crypto projects and just having more crypto advertisement in general. So that they're also getting prepared, right? They also are all working together to make sure that their buddies are in line and that they're gonna, pump their
Yeah,
bags for sure.
absolutely.
So let just quick little before we move on here to Ethereum, we're gonna hit a few other altcoins out there, guys. If you guys have any altcoin you want to be covered, drop it in the chat. Let Alex know. Hey, we'll try to hit as many as we can. We can't promise we'll hit all of them, but we'll try our best here. Just want to quickly shout out Flip or Hodl. Guys, if you haven't jumped into Flip or Hodl, last Friday we were playing for $2,900. This next game will be for $3,600. Every single super chat you guys send in, every dollar gets you one entry on the wheel. When we spin the wheel, we'll get one of you guys to come onto the show to play for $3,600. Guys, it doesn't get any better than that. So send in those super chats, get excited, get on the next Flip or Hodl, baby. Shout out to
That's
Clay the
awesome.
Great, our last contestant. Almost got that. Dude, he literally made it to the end of the game, and the last bank offer was $500.
What?
And but 1,850 was still on the board. I believe it was 55 and 85. Those were the last three numbers, and it was like, dude, there's $500 right there. Take it and leave. And he was a champ. He was like, dude, I'm gonna go all the way in for the 1,850. And
No
unfortunately, it didn't
way.
go his way. It didn't go his way, but
Oh
he was still
wow.
able to walk away with, I believe, $55, and we donated an extra like $250 or something like that to his charity.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, we wanted to support. I think he was doing something with the military. I forgot what it was exactly, and we wanted to support that. So we sent him a few extra, and we're still moving up to 3,600. So we're trying to make sure we
That's
try to
wild.
give as much money as we can for Christmas time. See who can get a nice little win and buy somebody some gifts or just recuperate some money from how expensive the holidays are.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are like Santa Claus, man.
We're trying. We're trying. We're trying to give people the best advice to try to give away some money. EOD Clay the Great says EOD Warrior Foundation. That's right. That was the foundation.
Amazing.
So we talked about Bitcoin. Let's jump into Ethereum. Obviously, there's I got a little article here. Quickly, guys, just bear with me, and then we'll jump into the TA. Ethereum reserves on crypto exchanges plummet as smart contract usage skyrockets. Right, a lot of all this sentiment, all this bullish sentiment has got people building. Gas fees just yesterday were like over 200 gwei on Ethereum. I was like, I haven't seen that in over a year. That throws some flashbacks. Just to send some money from point A to point B was like $30. at 200 Gwei, and that hasn't happened in a long time. So long story short here, the Ethereum reserves on major crypto exchanges like Binance and Coinbase are reaching levels not seen since 2016. That's a long time ago. Ethereum was a lot cheaper back then, and they're saying, hey, we're kind of running out of some Ethereum here. We're kind of low on ETH. Obviously, they've got their own little burning feature on Ethereum now. The more you use it, the more Ethereum burns, and we've talked about it on this show for a long time. As the network grows and more bullishness comes back into the market, Ethereum will become more and more scarce, and becoming a deflationary asset is kind of, Bitcoin's whole shtick. And now Ethereum taking that over kind of adds some more bullish propellant for it, especially with the Ethereum ETF in the talks, right? People are getting interested about that happening. So obviously we know altcoins are following Bitcoin, but we also have little altcoin seasons here and there where Bitcoin kind of goes sideways and the alts do their own thing. What are you seeing for Ethereum? What is kind of like your bear target of a retracement for ETH, and what's kind of like your bullish target for, the rest of this month, give or take?
Awesome. No, I totally agree with that. Ethereum is getting more scarce, and they are starting to class this as a commodity, aren't they? And what's beautiful about the ETH chart is that we've been watching that this has been working this whole way up here, and it really has been lagging. Okay, so when we look at ETH, like I said at the beginning of your stream here, is that Bitcoin's trading up here. That's our target for ETH, and it's currently down here. Now, this price action is absolutely beautiful. What we can see here, very simply, is a retest of the breakout. Okay, and we can see this across some Solana, I believe it is, and Matic, and ADA, where we can see a retest of this breakout. So you can see it took a while, it paused here, and then the massive move occurred, and now we've had a perfect, almost, you can't really write it, a perfect retest of this beautiful uptrend. So until we see confirmation below here and a push down and a retest of possibly this area, I see this continuing. It's still trying to catch up to Bitcoin. So for me, this is beautiful for ETH to see it work its way up. Our bullish target currently is around $2,600. But for ETH, it's very textbook. It's very nice to see.
So let me ask you here, that 2,600, I've heard that a few times from a few different people. What makes 2,600 such an important target for ETH here?
So when we go to our left here, I've pulled the volume of the main traded volume within here, and when we pull this across, we can see that the point of control is literally at $2,600. So for me, it's acceptance up into this range that we traded in the bull market up here. It's also a key level for us to break through as resistance to flip to support, so that we can just make some price action back up in here and put some more volume within this massive volume range that we had previously traded before. So that's pretty much the barrier to entry. It's almost as if it was Bitcoin's 32,000. How we crushed through that 32,000, this would be Ethereum's area where we need to see it crush through in order to continue its bullish continuation.
And that range, how long did that range expand? Was that like a yearly range, or was that like a multi-year range?
So this range here is just simply from April 21. So our previous push up, and then our second continuation of that beautiful head and shoulders that we can see on ETH that dropped us down into this bear market, and where we traded down below. And then for us, we're starting to crack. So we've cracked through this bearish consolidation that we had, and now we've flipped that to support. Perfect retest recently, and now we look to march our way back up to that 2,600. So that's what I'm looking for.
Awesome. Just want to give a quick shout out. Crypto Gamer send in a 199 super chat, says, can you check Snake, Cardano's first meme coin? We'll try to take a look at it, and we'll definitely add you on the wheel. So congrats, you are on the wheel for the next game of Flip or Hodl, baby.
That's awesome. So yeah, we look for continuation on Ethereum, just like anything else. It's had a perfect retrace. It's coming back. It's doing a double bottom. What we're really doing this week, I think, is we're waiting for Tuesday and Wednesday, because we have the FOMC, we have inflation, right? So we're gonna, I believe we've had the nice dump. We're gonna get the news, and then we're going to get the FOMC, and then we can have a better assessment of where we're at generally with the market, and then we'll be able to make some key trades. Right now, it's a very vulnerable time. For my community, I've stressed it hard enough. Like, a lot of people got wrecked on this stump because they're all just pressing buy and thinking we're going to the moon. We get corrected, and we get humbled by stuff like this, where we remember the importance of risk management.
Sorry about that. I got like disconnected there for a second.
No
technical
problem.
difficulties. Glad you just kept the conversation
I can
going.
keep going, man.
I'm
No
glad you just kept it
problemo.
going, dude. I was just saying, I'm super bullish on ETH. I've been buying ETH since like $100. It's literally, I believe, my second largest bag in terms of crypto. And you know, I think that long term, right? Long term in the next bull market, topping out. A lot of people are projecting like 8K, but I honestly believe we can go a little bit higher than that, maybe closer to that 12K region. If
12.15, I've been looking at that too.
You've been looking at 12.15?
Yeah, 12.15, around there. If Bitcoin gets to where it says it's supposed to go, like 140,000, that would bring ETH with the market dominance around 12 to 15,000, which would be absolutely awesome.
Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I was just talking about hopes and feelings. I'm glad you're bringing up some good fundamentals to that information right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very bullish on ETH. No matter what, if we're going to have that massive adoption, if we're going to think about it, once we get all the people into the ETF for Bitcoin, what's next, right? It's ETH. It's ETH. And in Canada, we have a Bitcoin ETF. We have an ETH ETF, except, we're broke. So don't
worry, we're not too far behind.
So you guys are gonna help us out, man. We're gonna pump. You guys can pump the price like we should have. We got maple syrup, and that's about it, right?
Dude, were you able to hit Snake while I was kind of away, or?
We can jump into that right away, man. Okay, right away, no problem.
Yeah, we'll jump into that real quick, and then we'll keep on with
Snake.
Yeah,
Snake. Let's go.
Meme coins, man. B-coins have been popping off these last couple of weeks,
bonk,
dude.
Man. It's wild. It's wild. We have a bonk trade set up as we speak right here. So I mean, don't hold it against us. But what if it's moving and we can trade it? Why not? So yes, massive move up. Not that much information. So let's go to the 4 hour. Let's take a quick peek. Okay, you got a beautiful flag here. We could just draw some simple flags on this where we look for this continuation breakout. So we wait for the confirmation. As traders, we wait for the confirmation of the breakout and then the retest. For me, so we target the highs. We look for this to push out, break out, and then come back, and that's our entry. For me, you can simply pull some volume. We know we have support down below. So actually, let's pull this volume back a little bit further so we have some more data here. Okay, so this is your key support. If you lose this, you're probably coming down to this area here. And that's where we look for support to hold. If you lose this level, if you continue this way down, you continue to follow this trend line, and you look for these levels down below here for a swing failure pattern to the upside with bullish divergence. That's what I'd be targeting. So if you do lose this and you fake out here and then you come back, you look for that bullish divergence and continuation to the upside here. Just keeping it very simple with the meme coins. You don't want to overcomplicate them, but you want to use less margin.
Yes.
Is less margin, less leverage. Give yourself breathing room, because when they move, okay, up or down. So I think to protect yourself is key when trading stuff such as degen as this stuff, right? So if you want to degen, do it properly. That's all I suggest, right? Dude, like when 100%. We trade bonks, we're just, we're lowering the margin. We're protecting ourselves.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy that there's literally leverage trading now possible on some of these meme coins. I mean, I spoke with somebody over the weekend that there's a whole platform coming out. I forget what it's called. I think we recorded an interview talking about it for like maybe a whole like 2 minutes. And basically there's a whole platform coming out that is all based on leverage trading meme coins. As many meme coins as possible. And I'm just like, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It's like, it's controlled gambling is what it is, right? It's like, It's really what it is, right? It's you're playing roulette, right? Like even here down below here, this is a 12% move. Like this isn't no joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's no joke, you know? That on
Yeah, with
5x, you're
leverage,
looking
you
at
can lose. You
50%
can get
move.
wrecked on that.
Absolutely. And look how quick and scammy the price action is, right? So you gotta be you gotta be careful. Like we laugh, but I mean some people love this stuff, right? So you gotta
Oh,
cater to everyone.
there's people that make tons of money off of it, but there's
Yeah.
also, and everybody likes to focus on that, but there are also ton of people that get wrecked and
Mm,
lose. I mean, we've talked about it on this show a lot of times that the meme coin stuff really is like a double-edged sword. It introduces a lot of people, gets people excited to jump in, maybe deep a little bit
yes.
with a few $100 here or there. But then those same people also get burned 95% of the time, and I'm being generous there, 95% of the time, and then they leave crypto saying, "Oh, crypto's just a scam. There's no liquidity. You get rug pulled." This and everything. But where were you actually putting your money? Oh wait,
Yes.
coins. And that's
Yes.
where
My boss back in Australia, same thing. He's like, "Oh, I got crypto." He pulls out his wallet. He shows he's got 10,000 Doge. I'm like, "Oh my God." Like,
that's exactly, dude.
right? So,
Exactly. That
but
is
at least
definitely the
it brings
problem.
in that adoption, like you said, right? At least people are exposed to it
Yeah, the few
through
people that
meme
stick
coins.
around after,
Yeah,
if they don't get completely wrecked, definitely, slowly are adding to the adoption rates here. Dude,
absolutely.
Snake is an interesting one. I've haven't stayed up to date with it, but Snake was also a Snake, whatever, however they say it. It has like its own energy drink and stuff. Like they're
No
doing
way.
stuff outside of just like being a meme coin. Don't know how that's going. I know that I saw videos and I saw like you can go buy the energy drink. It's their brand or whatever. They're actually doing some pretty cool stuff. They're interesting. Cardano's an interesting blockchain that people are building on.
That's
Guys,
awesome.
smash those likes if you haven't smashed those likes. Go follow Alex Crypto if you haven't already. His link is down below in the description. And last but not least, if you want an altcoin covered, drop it in the chat, guys. Drop it in the chat. We will try to hit as many as we can. Up next here, a lot of investors are eyeing Solana and Avalanche. Everyone is talking about these two. I was hanging around in Art Basel this weekend, and everyone was talking about Avalanche. Everyone was talking about Solana. Solana hit like a local high of like $73 over the weekend. Avalanche is also making some massive strides. They were like $20 literally like 5 days ago or 10 days ago, and now they're over $30. So they're moving. They're moving. Let's start off with Solana. How much further can this thing go? Right? Because everyone thought Solana was going to be a dead project after everything that happened with FTX. What's your bullish and bearish case for it?
Oh man. Well, Solana, wild, wild. And it has definitely done exactly what ETH has done. It's retested this upwards trend line. So how high can Solana go? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to give any FUD, but we're still not up at this level, just like Ethereum. So for me, that's our entry, right? We're looking at this $78 as a key level for us to get above, right? And that's just simple support and resistance where we're looking for this to continue up. And we had the perfect rejection off of it. So it's been following the TA, and like just like you, I mean, after this FTX thing, and we were watching this curl up, it had this like, oh man, this was perfect, right? Where it curled up this ascending triangle, and I was like, oh man, this is a perfect buy. But like just because of how FTX dumped on it, I wasn't about to accumulate it, and I don't hold Solana, so this is very unbiased. However, we can see that we have this volume in here. So I've made a lot of DCA videos of where to set limit orders if you're looking to buy into a lot of these alts. And for me, this $58 is my target for like the best possible buy right now because of all the hype. If you pull a simple fibs from the top to the bottom here, you can see it's within this area of the 786 and the golden pocket 618. So within this area, we look below, just below $61 to about $57 is I believe pretty much going to be your last chance of a buy of this. And with all this adoption, I believe Solana just surpassed Ethereum this weekend for NFT purchases. Some
Oh, yes, I
wild
did
news
hear
like
that.
that I saw. So like
Mhm.
it's massive adoptions coming, and you can see the perfect retest here of the previous highs, right? So it's following the TA, it's doing its thing. However, with Bitcoin dropping, it has had that cool off, and it's retested these highs simply up here. So if we do lose this key green line here of this trend line, we could be looking to come back down within this range here, and we can pull the volume within this range and just take a look there, and that lines up perfectly with our point of control right around that $58. So for me, if we do get a retracement, we're looking at $58, and then if we're going to continue up, we look to follow this beautiful trend line and get up and above the $78 where we flip it and turn it to support, and then we can put some price action within here and continue our way upwards.
Dude, Solana is one that I scooped up some at $24. I would love to say that I scooped it up on the way up. I did not. I scooped it on the way down. Obviously, Solana went a lot lower than 24 for a long time.
Absolutely. Solana definitely did dip down. I think you've cut out again. So Solana did come all the way down to $8 where the FTX collapse happened, and it climbed its way back out. However, it did have another couple of dips, but it was making higher lows along the way. So with Solana, it had, it's had network shutdowns and things like that. However, it has proven to be strong within this push up. The adoption has come back. The community has definitely been behind this, and the narrative is strong. So I think a lot of this is narrative driven. A lot of this, AVAX too, being the gaming central, right, is narrative driven. Are you back now?
Yeah, I'm back, dude. I don't know what's happening with my
No worries,
internet.
man.
It keeps throwing me off.
I'm glad I'm here to help.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it 100% for keeping the show going. All I was saying was I have a small bag of Solana at $24. I'll definitely, if it drops a little bit lower, I'm a little bullish on it right now, not because of the movement, but it did break some news that they were making an upgrade. I forget what it's called. That is basically working on, like, they're shutting down. The whole thing was always they were breaking down all the time.
Yeah.
So with that being fixed, hopefully with this upgrade that's coming out or did come out, plus their NFTs, they have a very strong NFT community. They had a very strong NFT community last bull run. It looks like the hype is coming back again. They're definitely looking bullish in that aspect, and the TVL on it is pretty high too. They're like in the 600 million TVL right now. I made a short video about it comparing it to Cardano a few days ago.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know if it's gonna reach all-time highs. I'm not that bullish on it, but I definitely think it can have a nice little juicy pump from here in the next bull run.
$260, man. It's pretty wild.
That's a huge move. I don't know if we can get that high.
It's massive. We've been spoiled so far.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. This has been a massive run from where it's been towards where it was to where it's at right now, and we're not even in the bull market just yet, right?
No, not even. Absolutely.
So, how are you seeing Avalanche right now?
I'm glad you asked. Avalanche is crushing it. Avalanche is the only outlier right now that has popped back up. It's only down 3%. And look, if you just look across the board here, you're down 10%, 7%, 6%, 11%, Link down, So it's the only outlier here. And my community, we were all talking about this, of how this candle today will be the determining candle of what's dictated for the rest of the week. And a lot of these are all the way down, bearish, engulfing. And look at Avalanche. It's a beautiful hammer candle. So for me, Avalanche is the outlier, mainly because of the adoption of games. Like, I'm a big holder of Beam as well, which is an Avalanche based token as well. There's so much being built on AVAX, and there's been so much gaming hype that has really, I think Becker came out with another video saying, oh, if you want just a little bit of exposure, buy some Avalanche. So yeah, for me, everybody's like, okay, I'm going to jump on this narrative, and it's all narrative driven. But what goes up must come down. And I think eventually, you can see some retracement, but it doesn't look like it wants to slow down. However, this is what's interesting to me, is that if we continue up here where we are right now, there's little to no volume in front of us. That's what's really interesting. Like if we look at this whole chart, and we could pull up an AVAX chart. I think on KuCoin would have a little bit more data. Okay, yeah. So the maximum data here. So if we pull this, we can see that little to no volume is above us here. Like we have nothing stopping us from moving through here. Nothing. Like this is ridiculous. So
And what's the price range of that square?
So we're going all the way up to $52 from where we are right now. Right.
Go,
so
baby.
That's what we've been eyeing out. And for me, like I grabbed Avalanche on this dip right here at $10. Like I was pretty happy. Like
Dude.
we got that dump across the board, and I grabbed some Avalanche share, and then it went lower. And then I was like, oh, this is scary, because we were thinking, oh, we're gonna be like Capo going to 12K over here, right? We were that guy, but we were afraid. We're like, we're going to the ground. But we did grab this dip right
What
here,
a great buy.
and we just held it. And I mean, this is crazy to think that Avalanche has nothing in its way, really. Like we can go into like the 4 hour and kind of like pick it apart and go over to here.
You're making me FOMO, Alex. You're making me
FOMO. No FOMO. No FOMO. We can see like there's a little bit of volume in here. So we can pull like this volume here, and we can shoot over, if you want to get like really technical, you could have like a little pause here within this area, and then you can get back over here and you can say, okay, yeah, maybe we get a stop. There's really not much volume here. There's not much volume. So you can see that there's possibly a pause within here, but $36 to $52 is like, it's a quick move. And that's another 50%, right? So
Dude, that's
it's wild to
savage.
think. It's wild to think.
That is savage. Yeah, I am extremely bullish on Avalanche just because of how much they're building on their ecosystem. Like they didn't really get a chance last cycle. They kind of came in towards the end. They didn't really have too much of anything built on it. There's a lot of more gaming. Shrapnel is one of the games that I've been looking at.
Okay.
That they're building on Avalanche. It literally looks like Call of Duty. And they have a few. They have a few other games that are like top tier games. None of this like just like card trading or like turn-based stuff. Like some top tier real gaming is happening there. And like you said, right, it could be all narrative driven, but somebody's got to drive the gaming narrative.
Absolutely.
And Avalanche looks like that's what it's going for. It's going for the gaming. Solana is kind of more competing with Ethereum on just being a smart contract competitor. And Avalanche is just sticking in its own lane with gaming, and gaming is huge. Gala did very well last bull market.
Absolutely.
And a few other gaming, I can't remember from the last cycle what other gaming tokens there were, but they did well. Now huge. AVAX is making its play at it, right? So I'm definitely looking to scoop up some AVAX. Like I said, I don't have any, so that's why.
What definitely got me bullish on AVAX was Jeff Bezos with Amazon.
They're Amazon, that's right.
Yes, and Amazon wants to get into gaming, right? So I mean, you get the Prime, you get the video games, and you get AVAX, and you get blockchain. I mean,
dude,
you're gonna have drones delivering new games, right?
I completely forgot about that. Right? Bill talked about that here at the beginning of this year or earlier in this year. He was like, I don't understand how AVAX is not exploding. Like we were obviously in the depths of the bear market. It's like Amazon just partnered with them, and this thing didn't even move. Yeah. I remember that specifically right now that you brought it up. Great point, dude. Avalanche. I'm definitely interested in their decks as well. Joe, because
Trader Joe.
Yeah, Trader Joe.
Yeah. Isn't that like some health store?
There's a food market. I don't know if it's in all parts of the country, but Trader Joe's is also a food market.
Is that where you get like avocados?
Yeah, organic avocados. So their dex is like only like 200, like maybe 250, 290 mil market cap, and they're basically, if they're gonna grow, right, and you're kind of comparing it to Ethereum or something as a competitor to Ethereum, their dex is obviously extremely undervalued at what it could potentially be. I believe its dex all-time high last time was like $4 or something. It's sitting around like 60 something cents right now. Oof. So it's definitely another thing that I'm looking at for the Avalanche ecosystem.
Yeah.
Not obviously not financial advice to anybody. I'm just letting you guys know what we're looking at. So one more I want you to cover, and then we'll jump in. I did see somebody asking about DOT in the chat, and
Okay.
somebody asking about XRP. We'll cover that, but I wanted to ask you, can you cover ADA for me? Because we have an article here that is saying 6,000% increase for Cardano, right? A push to $33. This is the wildest I've ever seen of a price prediction for Cardano. $33. I'm a Cardano bull, but I would have never even thought about a $33 bull. No, it's just I don't see it happening. But he says, right, that same last time Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, last time Ethereum had a bullish weekly cross. It ran 6,000% over the next 66 weeks. And apparently it just had that same thing going again. So he's saying, hey, why not? Why can't they run another 6,000% in 66 weeks? And I want you to let the people know what you think of that. I don't want to put any words in your mouth. What do you think about a Cardano
I mean,
6,000%
great,
increase?
great. I mean, bring it on. Like, thank you. Yeah, because we packed our Cardano bags. I think our average buy-in's like 23 cents or something stupid
Let's
like
go.
that. Yeah,
Let's go.
right.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like, bring it on. And what I've heard from so many people who do TA, they say ADA waits and waits and waits, and then
The
boom,
sleeper.
right?
It's a sleeper.
Sleeper. And it just showed you what it's capable of, right? Like, it's had a 9% correction right now. That's cool. But it shows you it crawled its way up simply to that level of resistance that we have marked out here. Right? We grabbed down this dip, same as AVAX, right? We grabbed right here, boom, grabbed that dip, and then this continued. We flagged out here, and then there was this key level of resistance in front of us, right down here, and it said, sayonara, I'll see you later. And it just flew. And we have some targets above us. So it came up to 65 cents, which was big for ADA. And it has not gotten to that spot that we were talking about with Bitcoin, which is up here. So between 75 cents and $1, right? That psychological dollar. So the dollar, to get up to 75 cents, and that dollar is going to be our next strife. ADA, I believe ADA dominance was 4% last bull run. So if ADA gets 4%, just with the simple math, I recently did an ADA video, and that puts ADA between $5 and $8. So $5 and $8, $30 ADA, but $5 to $8 quite possible. And we all know people love Charles.
Yeah.
And we all know that there's, the core, the reason why I dollar cost average and I bought into ADA is just for the simple fact that it's more decentralized than most. As the top tier coin, it's like, that's why I'm here. I'm here for freedom. I'm here for decentralization. I'm here for transparency, honesty, kindness, all these things. It's nice to make a buck. However, it's better to create community like you guys having me on here, and just creating a group of like-minded people who all want to grow and prosper together, right? So that was kind of my idea with Cardano. However, right now, look at this simple retest, right? Exactly like ETH, retest of this key level that we broke out. It typically retraces to the 50% mark of the candle, and look, it did it perfectly, and we have this beautiful bullish continuation. For me with Cardano, the 4-hour is resetting across the board on Market Cypher for a lot of these, where we've come back, we've retested, we can see we're getting a possible continuation pattern to the upside, where we can look for this to continue up, because even on Market Cypher, the money flow is thick across the board, right? A lot of money is coming in, adoption's coming in, we've moved up, nice little retrace, healthy market structure, and continue our way upwards.
Yeah, dude, that money flow is definitely staying pretty strong, because I believe they just got their first real official stable coin on Cardano. So obviously a lot of money is now be able to jump in there. And I also agree with the $5 to $8 prediction. That's kind of where I'm thinking, right? And the reason why Cardano's my third largest bag, of everything I've picked up over the years, because not just of the decentralization points that you pointed out, but if Cardano was able to make it to $3, right? It survived multiple bear markets, meaning the community, the demand, the technology is growing through time, so it's already past that.
Yes.
It's also been able to get to $3 with no smart contracts at the peak of the last bull market. Now we've got NFTs. Now we've got dApps being built on it. Now we got smart contracts on Cardano. With that happening, there's just no way with the TVL growing. I did a video of it comparing Solana versus Cardano. So Cardano's TVL has been gradually growing this entire bear market versus like Solana's TVL has been kind of flat. It's locked.
Okay.
It has a lot of money in it, but it's been pretty flat over the last year. Cardano's has been growing steadily. So I believe this next bull market, with all the smart contracts, with all the NFTs being built on it, I think that it can definitely grow. And I think $5, Crow, which is a Cardano expert, is calling for like $8. I've talked to him multiple times about it.
Okay.
He says, I don't see any way it doesn't touch $8. It'd be great. I'm going to be taking
Absolutely.
profits before then, but it'd be great if we hit $8 for sure.
Yeah, and Crow definitely knows his ADA. So,
dude, he's a ADA, like, well, I would not say maxi, but he's an ADA expert.
Yes, it's awesome. That's awesome. I agree.
Somebody in the chat said they wanted to see DOT. Can we pull up DOT and then we'll pull up XRP?
Absolutely. Let's look at DOT. We just did a recent video on DOT on where we can look for the pullback, and well, we didn't. We were looking at this symmetrical triangle for the breakout. I mean, typical, beautiful move, right? Crazy push upwards. I know Crypto Billy. Shout out to Crypto Billy. He likes his DOT. I'm not a holder of DOT. So for me, unbiased opinion, it looks like we failed to come back and test this $6. So we have had more of a pushback compared to Avalanche that we just looked at, but it's been a nice bounce. With DOT, we look for the continuation. We can draw a simple trend line up here and look for this to continue. That looks to be holding well. For me, DOT, let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's take a look. So we've come out. Wow. So DOT, oh man. So if like I said, if we go off that basis of where the Terra Luna collapse happened, right? If we are just going to knock on that door, which some alts are already doing, there's a lot of room for DOT, right? There's a lot of room. This is all the way up at $16. That's almost a 3x from here. So for me, DOT's been lagging just like Ethereum, and it could be looking for a much higher push. There's not a lot of volume holding us up here on the weekly, so it's tread carefully with this kind of stuff, because right now with me, we're getting this move off of the idea of the ETF. Otherwise, none of this stuff is happening.
100%.
We're hanging out down here where it's high inflation, housing market bubble, blah, blah, blah. Interest rate hikes, right? We're not getting cuts till July, they're saying. So for me, this is all hype off of the ETF. Things are trailing Bitcoin. We want to see it catch up. However, if we do get that continuation bullishness on Bitcoin, look for these alts to follow suit. So we draw these trend lines, we look for the continuation, and then our only sign for us to go back down is simply a break of structure. We've put in higher lows, lower highs, right? So if we continue to do this and we break key levels of resistance along the way, then we can say, oh, maybe we're coming down for a retrace. Until that's proven, if we're just retesting the lows here and then continuing, and then we start putting in higher lows yet again, and we continue our way up, then we're marching back up and we try to buy these dips and trade this all the way up. But right now it looks like we're lagging, and it looks like we can go all the way up to $16 if we're supposed to stay on par with Bitcoin. So that's kind of my idea with DOT, but look for this key area right here to hold around $6.15.
Let's go, dude. There you go. For all you DOT holders out there, I hold a very small bag of DOT that I bought the last bull market. I haven't bought any this bear market at all. Maybe I'll scoop some up. I feel like I'm just missing out on all the good stuff all the time, dude. All this freaking content creating all the time. I'm not buying crypto. I'm talking about it, but I'm not buying it.
I'm talking, but I'm buying.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Simor says XRP. Can we take a look at XRP here?
Of course, yeah.
Everybody's
mad about XRP.
Hey man, XRP, dude.
Oh man, XRP. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Are you a holder of XRP? Do you
No, I'm
believe
not,
in
man.
the ethos?
No, I'm not. I, I, I'm not. I have nothing against XRP. I'm very, very grateful to XRP because they spent the money, they fought the SEC, and they won, and that is a win for all of crypto. So I love XRP for what they did. I respect them. I'm probably gonna lose, throwing up X's and all these things. However, that doesn't, the tokenomics aren't my thing, and the whole like the ISO 222 coins,
Yeah,
and I kind of stay away from that just because of my own personal beliefs. However,
same.
doesn't mean we can't make money on this stuff. So we can see there was this dreaded consolidation over here. This is what I compare this to. So if you guys remember of that court case when we had that dreaded consolidation right here, it was so boring, so boring, and then within within no time you get this massive push, right? That massive push. So are we doing something similar where we're making higher lows, we're stalling out, and we're not following? Bitcoin gets this big push, XRP goes like right? So are we just consolidating and waiting for something to come out where we get something similar to this, right? So for me, XRP is patient. I don't believe I think it will do well. It's got such a huge community. It has so many people behind it. It has tons of bag holders, and I do believe it will do well. However, right now it hasn't performed the same.
Yeah, I do think it's going to do well. Also, I don't think it's going to not perform. Obviously, it didn't perform last bull run at all, but I think it's very narrative driven. It's very based on the news that comes out. Right, an article will explode the XRP price, and until it doesn't see something like that, it's probably not going to have any like big moves. It doesn't tend to move a lot on its own, just randomly, unless something big in the article in the news comes out, and then it gets spread among all the XRP maxis out there. I think it's going to take over the world and flip the switch or whatever it is that they say.
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to quickly remind you guys, smash those likes. Go follow Alex Crypto right now. If you're not following him, the link is down below. Go follow him. Smash the likes. And if you haven't sent in a super chat, but you want to get on to win $3,600, not 29, $3,600, make sure you guys are sending in super chats. Every single dollar you send gets you one entry on the wheel. Sorry guys, I'm trying to actually pull it up here so you guys can see it real quick. You get your name on the wheel one time, and you get to come and play flip or hodl for $3,600. I keep saying 29, but it's $3,600. Get on this game, play the great. What was that?
Santa Claus is here, man.
Hey, the Santa rally, right? It's the Santa rally. We're trying to give some money away. Flip or hodl is where we do it. Come on in. We try to do it about almost every Friday possible. So get your name on the wheel before next Friday to spin and win your opportunity to come win $3,600. So we got two more I want to cover here, and then I think we might call it a wrap. So we got Chainlink, and what is the other one that I saw here in the chat? And Injective and Chainlink. We're gonna cover those two, and I think we're gonna call it a wrap.
Love them both, man. Love them both.
I don't know anything about Injective. I don't know anything about that.
INJ, what?
No, dude, I don't know anything about it.
You're making too much content, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'm missing out.
Oh man. Oh, so this is Chainlink. I hold Chainlink, not financial advice.
Same.
I bought Chainlink today. I bought Chainlink today. I'm bullish
for the first time ever, or just DCing?
I've been DCing all down here.
Nice.
All down here, but I've added to the bag just for the adoption, just because I believe in the project. I mean, everything needs to communicate with everything, and Chainlink does that, right? Just keep it simple. That's the idea, and it's going to help everything communicate. So with Chainlink, massive retracement back to this key level. Very simple. The pullback levels are as such, right? So if we do lose this level here, then we're looking to come down 1250 Chainlink. That would be a nice scoop up. And the lowest, I think, if we do have like a big correction, $11 is the cheapest you'll ever see Chainlink ever again. That's just my opinion, not financial advice. However, we can see that we have broken structure a little bit here. So there's a bit of a difference here. That's why we do partial allocation. It's just the way I do it, but you can see that we have this beautiful trend line up here. We've broken that out. We've come back within this area here, within this range. I picked up some today, not financial advice. We've come down to the value area low, this area here at 1360, I believe it is. Yeah, 1364. Yeah, 1360 is acting as a key level of support. If we lose that, we look to come right back down to this key level here. However, for me, the link is the narrative 2 driving link is massively bullish. We can look for a simple long coming up here. We can see that we are getting some sort of divergence of a continuation pattern looking to come up. So we have this trend line. We look for the divergence down below here at key levels and a continuation upwards, and then we need to see a break and flip this into support and continue its way upwards. Sorry about that there. In order to continue upwards. But for now, we've gotten dumped on. That's okay. However,
hey, Chainlink's been pumping massive. It's like been leading this whole entire pump.
Right? It's been flying. Initially, Chainlink, once it broke out of this $9, it was game over, right? Like it's been, I can't even measure it. It's so big. Don't be rude, guys. Oh man, so 135%, right? So it's massive, right? It's massive, and if you believe in it, and so much adoption's coming to Chainlink, right? It's one of the only players that is doing what it's doing. So
yep,
for me, it's beautiful to see that it's gotten up to this level. We look to consolidate within this range and look for it to follow Bitcoin price action, just similar to many other things within the space.
Perfect.
And then INJ, right? INJ.
Tell me what this project is, bro. What does this thing do before you even cover the
Injective? What does it do? Well, it does. Oh my God, look at this chart. So gaming narrative, man. This is all gaming narrative. So for me, Injective, massive push, massive push. It's new, so I'd suggest doing your own research on it, but it's just alongside that beautiful gaming narrative.
Okay, so that's what it's about, gaming.
Yeah.
What is it on its own blockchain? Is it a part of something of an ecosystem of a larger blockchain?
To be fair, I haven't done like that extensive research on it.
Okay,
all I know is that I was grabbing it around $10, right?
Ooh,
so
nice.
So we're just riding this gaming narrative, right? However, INJ, I believe it's the be all end all where it does it all kind of deal. So it's Cosmos, and I think it's layer 1 Cosmos, I believe.
Okay. Cosmos is another one. That's like the competitor for Polkadot.
Massive, yeah. So for me, Injective, is it coming back down? This is narrative driven, right? This is narrative driven, and you can see it's consolidating and then pumping, consolidating and pumping. We're at $23. Like it doesn't care what happened to Bitcoin. Like it doesn't care, right? So
hopefully it comes back so I can buy some. I don't got any.
So what do? You pull the volume within here, you look for the value area high, and you hope that it comes back down to some of these levels. If we are to see a big retracement, we look for these levels to come back down to. However, the sky's the limit with something like this. It's narrative driven. People believe in it and they want to see these games do well. And the more the merrier, right? So you can simply look at this, but right now, like there's no way you're shorting this thing, right? You're just hoping for a pullback that you can throw a long on.
I mean, at some point it has to retrace, right? I'm looking at it right now. It's like up 13% in the last 24 hours, even though after the Bitcoin retracement, it's like 1.9 billion market cap. It has a small amount of coins, only 83 million in circulating supply, 100 million in total, which is good. I like tokens that have limited supply like that. But dude, oh my gosh,
it's wild,
when
right?
is this thing gonna pull back?
So for me, it's like you get these key levels and you set those limit buys. Like just looking at this chart, like look at this one wick you got, right? So if you just had a limit buy here, right, you would have caught this, right? So it's like you can catch these while you sleep, and you can ride ride the wave up. If you believe in the project, you've done your own research, right? You add these levels to your spot buys, and like I said, you know, the 10, the 20, and then the rest of the bag over here, 70, and then on your way up, right? So, and then you can catch these, right? So you don't feel like you've missed out totally, because a lot of these are leaving us behind. Like we said, you feel this FOMO, the FOMO that you have right now about Injective. Yep. You go over to Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? That FOMO that you had right now, you're getting an opportunity, right? Not financial advice.
Yeah, for
However,
sure.
That's how I look at it is you buy up the fire sales when you're bullish on a project, because you want to ride it into 2024, right? And you want to ride that pump, because I don't believe anybody's late right now at all, right? Like if you 2x, 3x, 4x your money, like you're not getting that anywhere else. So
for sure,
I believe you're all
everyone
winning.
You know how it is in the crypto game. Everyone's looking for 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, right? 1000x. And if you're not getting that, then oh man, you know, crypto sucks. And it's like you said, where else do you get to 2x, 3x, 4x your money in a couple of years? Nowhere in the stock market, you know, in precious metals, forex or anything like that. You don't get those kind of returns from dollar cost averaging into you know, traders are hoping for 8%, 9% at the end of the year at best in the traditional world. We're over here like 8%. That's all I made. That's terrible. I'm the worst. Right. I'm the worst crypto trader there's ever been.
Right. And then there's those people changing their leverage when they post their trades, so it looks bigger percentages.
Oh,
right?
dude.
They're out there, man. Dude. They're out there.
They're out there, bro. People are wild on all those posts.
Love it.
People are wild. When it comes to content creation, like people got to be so careful. There's so many crazy things that people do, and it attention catching, right? But we're all in the game of catching somebody's attention and retaining their attention, the attention economy, and those kind of things work for attention, but they're not sustainable. Eventually, those people get found out who they are. But dude, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. We're definitely, well, obviously, if people didn't know, now they know you're coming on for season 3 of Trading Wars. That is going to be starting in January of 2024. So we're super excited to have you. Final words to the people watching today. Where can they find you? What is it that you do? Plug your stuff.
Alex O Crypto. Yeah, it's the channel, man. Come check us out. Morning show, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard every morning. We give the trade setup and we get into it. But, you know, just be kind, be honest, go out there, touch some grass and keep killing it, man. Let's grow together. That's about it.
Dude, I love it. So guys, like always, question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. See you guys.